What up, Eddie? What up? What up? What up? Welcome. Welcome. Got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, Eddie, while you're here, I need you to do me a solid. Now, in your YouTube search, type in Mountain Tough, Tuff, okay? Mountain Tough, all right? He has a live going on right now, okay? Go see the live and tell me what you're seeing, because I can't believe what I'm seeing when I'm watching this. It is insane. It is insane. I subscribed just for what up, Marcus? What up? I subscribed just for and I need someone else to witness what I saw. So Marcus, you can do this too. Open up a new tab somewhere. Go to YouTube. Type in at the symbol at Mountain Tough, all one word, capital M, capital T for Tuff, Mountain Tough, and tell me what y'all see. Yes, yes. He should have a live, but make sure it's together so it takes you directly to his channel. I don't know how many other sites, how many other other things are going to come up. That's why I said put the at symbol, put the handle on there, so you get it, because you need to see what this dude. Okay. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Station. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go to that. Go to Eddie's link and tell me what you guys see. I need to know that I'm not crazy. I don't want to spoil it. You guys have to see what this guy is doing on live right now. Right fucking now. And I'm gonna highlight this. And how do I highlight? Pin. There you go. There you go. Go to that and tell me what you guys see, because I am at a loss for words, not only at the subscriber count that this fucker has. What's up? Happy MLK Day there, buddy. Oh man. Oh man, let me tell you something. I don't know what MLK would be saying if he saw what the brother on Mountain Tough was doing. I don't know what he would say. I don't know what opinions he would have. He would definitely say something. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? What up? What up, y'all? Listen, I know the six of you just jumped in here, and this goes against everything that lives are supposed to be, okay? I will never, ever draw your attention to another live, but I need y'all to go to Mountain Tough. It's a pinned comment. Type that into your YouTube search bar. Go to the live and tell me what you see. Because I can't believe what this guy's doing on live. I cannot. And I'm not being hyperbolic. This is. Here I'm making a mess in the bathroom. Yes. Yes. Eddie, yeah. Eddie, don't talk about this as if it's normal, dude. There's a brother in a stall in a public restroom, it looks like, with a bunch of rolled up toilet paper balls, and he's like in a basketball game with himself, and he's counting down 3, 2, 1, and then he shoots at a duct taped half-ass basket, and he's like, ooh, and he sometimes makes it, sometimes it hits the rim. Dude, what is going on in this world? What is going on? There's something in the water, dude. There is something in the water that or there's something in the food. I don't know. Like I need to see what the dude. Like, it's insane. I know he's doing numbers. I understand he's doing numbers, but I don't understand why. That's the thing. I don't understand why. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's literally toilet paper everywhere in a public bathroom. I don't. It's And I'm like, and this is the first thing I see before I start this. What I was going to talk about tonight was going to be the creative process of doing what I do, which is making an analog horror series entirely on my phone. Okay. Like I'm actually doing something that is like creatively something. I don't know what it is. It's just creative. Okay. I'm putting effort. I'm drawing pictures, even though I don't have any artistic like gifts whatsoever in terms of drawing, man. I stick figures. It's insane. And this guy is in some fucking public bathroom talking to himself, throwing wads of paper and he can't even he has over like I don't know like 200 viewers right now. At 200 viewers, maybe even 300, and he can't afford an actual basketball hoop. Like he can't afford one just to as decoration to throw it in. I've seen one guy's yeah, people find ways to make money. Yeah, you said it, Eddie. I should start doing some dumb shit like that. I should just start doing some dumb shit. I just don't know what. I just don't know what. Like my brain doesn't work to that level. I can't put myself in a situation where I'm making an absolute jackass out of myself. I don't know what they do. I don't know what I think they have to be like they have to be utilizing the for kids content. Like that's the only way they're getting this wide audience is if they're like, all right, allowing kids to watch it. Because kids would probably stumble on that and just watch it for oh, I'm sorry. I'm so taken aback by like just scrolling through that. And I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it because I originally I was going to do a whole fucking it was going to be live Wednesday or live something. Live people. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to call it. But I was going to have it on a specific day and I was just going to scroll through and find out what are the weirdest lives that you stumble upon. Completely original. Yeah, yeah, it is completely original. It is completely original, but it's just like I don't understand the originality in the context of oh, hold on. There you go. Hopefully. Completely optional. Yeah, dude, all that shit's completely optional. It's okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe, but I'm just like, I need to get organized. That's what I need to do. It's very clear that I need to get organized and really like prep like the kind of content because the dude just threw toilet paper on some stall doors, and I guess the pile of rolled up toilet paper balls that he gets from the public bathroom, he takes the rolls out. So if you've ever shit your pants or needed to shit and you go in a stall and there's no fucking paper, giant paper roll, you know what the fuck is happening. Somebody's out there playing fucking basketball with it at night, locking the. This is insanity. I'm genuinely shook, and and what's even shocking, Eddie. What's even more shocking is that you're so nonchalant about that. Oh yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah, he just throw, and I'm like, you've seen it before. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'll be back. Jesus. And look. I understand. The dude could have any assortment of problems. It's just wild. It is just wild. So I'm gonna remove this because I don't want. I just needed people to know that that exists. Thank you, Eddie, for putting that up easily for people to look up. Thank you so much. If you're just jumping in, talking about a live that I stumbled upon, but tonight I want to try to make a live that I'm gonna put up eventually. Well, no, I'm gonna put up immediately after this, but I want to address some things. Marcus, look, man, I know you want more lives, and I appreciate the love of please post more of the live streams. I get it, okay? But you have to understand, I don't like hearing my voice, okay? A lot of these live streams are just word diarrhea. So when I see them again, the last thing that I want to do is be like, is this going to be the best representation of what this channel is or what this is? I say some outlandish things, which I'm going to try to work on because the closer I get to the 1,000, the more like conservative in my approach I'm starting to get because again, it's like you got to start taking into account that someone could take this away. So in the spirit of that, I'm gonna try not to say as many swear words. I'm gonna still swear, at least not in the beginning, not in the first. I'm gonna say 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes is enough time to because I want to curtail any sort of rules, terms and conditions that YouTube is gonna just magically come up with in 2 or 3 months, and I'm just gonna scroll through and check. Okay, thank you, I accept because I have no other because I have no other option. And yeah, so right now it's cool to swear in the beginning, but maybe it's not going to be cool in 3 months. Maybe you can't swear in the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes would be pushing it. I don't think they would ever go that far, but I'm protecting this for later on down the line. So, guys, welcome everybody, the 5 people that are watching. This is an analog horror channel where I make the analog horror entirely on my phone in every step of the way. Currently, right now, I am working on a very visual effects heavy episode because one of them got deleted. So now I had to work backwards and do a thorough outline of exactly what I want. So my 3D animator, Perp Crew Productions, PURP underscore CRU underscore productions on Instagram. Very talented 3D animator, one of my friends. And so I want to I want to give him, I want to paint him as bright of a picture as I possibly can. So that way his job of creating is just very simple and fluid. So I'm going to get back to that. While I'm doing that, I want to talk about a bit about my creative process. Because I feel like but not make fun. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I know, dude. I know. Like part of the whole pointing out Mountain Tough was like showcasing like, okay, this is a bare minimum someone can do, and yet they have an audience. Me, I'm doing the bare minimum equivalent. I'm not rolling a paper, you know. I'm doing even less. I'm not even putting in any crazy light. Like this lighting setup is just very basic. You know, I'm doing it all with three bulbs. No, wait, hold on. One, two, three, four with the well, four and the fourth. That I don't even think it's on. I don't know. Four and the fourth, and and two. So like six and a fourth light to get this look. And if I wanted, matter of fact, hold on, let me see, and I can do that. Let it swing, and occasionally it hits the whatever. But things compromise and respect, love. Before I die, money is secondary. Yeah, awesome wisdom. That's exactly, yeah. So so if that level of minimalism can get an audience, maybe this, like just talking about the creative process can get something going for y'all, you know, people who want to create something. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but the AI Chat GPT has been losing money hand over fist, and yeah, it's not looking good. It turns out people really don't fucking like AI, and so that on top of the Gore Verbinski film, Have Fun, Don't Die, whatever that sci-fi film is, where it addresses artificial intelligence. Um, I think, I think AI is going to be having a really rough year uh, moving forward. Because again, like I even like there's some I try to block as much AI shit as I can, but it's just persistent. It's almost like it's like the system that has been put into place to pump out like subliminal messages has been working overtime, because I'm starting to notice like so many AI promoted tweets and posts and all this shit, and you're just like, well, dude, this is, you guys used to actually try to hide this shit. Now y'all are um just really phoning it in at this point. It's like, that we know that this is all bullshit, and you're just don't care enough. Like it almost feels like they have a plan B, to which I don't even want to even begin to think about. But yeah, no. Uh we need more creators. Even if it is jackasses who throw wads of community toilet paper in a plastic lid. Even that's, if that's made by a human, then if that is done and is acted upon by a human, then hey, it's one less AI, you know? And then what else? What else did I see? Just scrolling through. Um do I like trolls or backstabbing people? Why? That's what I ask. Why? Why would I like Backstabbers. That's the dumbest fucking thing. Do you like pieces of shit? Yeah. No, dude, I hold a grudge. Hold a grudge. And I put it in the furnace of spite, and that's what drives me in the shit that I do. Which is why, like, I don't, when I talk, like, I talk a lot of shit about film, and, you know, there are directors like Tarantino who have been doing the same recently. And now I'm not going to compare myself to Tarantino because that would be fucking insane. But I don't know. I feel like Tarantino doing it is a bit childish. You know, like if by some miracle, not by some miracle, it wouldn't be a miracle. That's a shitty. No. Let me rewind that. Rewind that. Not non. I don't want it to be a miracle. Miracles are for dimwits, you know? Dimwits that just want shit to happen and just are like, yeah, all right. Like I've had some opportunities, like it's fucking weird, man. Like when I was younger, it felt like I knew way more connections in like the industry than I do now, like years later. Having more of a social media presence and more of a resume, it seems like the pool is narrow. And my guess it's just people investing in themselves, and the people that they decided to work with at the time are now making stuff together on a slightly bigger scale. They're essentially doing what I'm doing now, except they had the knowledge and the like the funding to like invest into so many different fish. And my problem is I never had the confidence in my ideas back then to assert myself. Um, and then because of that, I always decided to help others with their projects, and like I started to see how people were acting. Like there's a lot of backstabby shit going on. There's a lot of people that would come to a set and immediately like everybody would gauge each other out, like figure out what the type of creator that person is, and then once things started to get going, you know, you exchange numbers, and that's when like these other personalities come out, and where this person's just like, oh, you're talking to her, you're talking to them, this person's kind of shitty, you know. And I was just kind of like overwhelmed by this because I didn't know that uh that's how it was operating, you know. Oh, toilet paper man. Oh God, I'm losing a viewer to him. Mountain Tough TUFF. Mountain Tough TUFF at Mountain Tough. Oh, okay, cool. Cool, and please subscribe and tell that other streamer to subscribe to this channel too. All right. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, at Mount. Yeah, just put the at in front of it. Make it a handle, and he should be still live doing a live. But because it seems like he's been doing this shit for hours from the comments. Fucking oh. But yeah, no, it was just it opened my eyes to like, okay, if I'm gonna start like getting involved in other people's stuff, then what I'm going to do is offer my services, and I don't want credit. I don't want to. I essentially offered it to like for the love of the game type of energy. And I was taking the experiences that I was of being on certain sets and just being around certain people and like learning that way. And so because of that, it caused a lot of people to like be wary of me because they felt that there was an ulterior motive into me saying like, "Hey, I just want to help. Don't worry about credits. If you need help with writing anything, I'll throw ideas out at you. Whatever you like, take. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just want to help as much as possible." That's it. And you say that at the time, it was like the early 2010s, 2011, 2012. It was just everybody was trying to be a filmmaker and videographer and vlogger. And so people felt very paranoid of people getting sabotaged and just like what does he want? What does this person want? Nobody just does it for nothing. Da, da, da. And that was very disheartening because like my whole logic behind why I'm helping or if I'm deciding to work with a group of people is that we all know we've all seen documentaries, we've all seen behind the music where groups are working together and there's a riff that happens. There's always a fucking riff. Either someone wants to get paid more money, someone's not getting paid enough money, there's no credits, people are backstabbing, all this fucking unnecessary drama when nobody is like looking at the fact that they are making amazing music or something, whatever. It happened with Twin Peaks. Like you see what Kyle and all the love triangle shit from behind the scenes. David Lynch had to rewrite stuff because the actress didn't want Kyle kissing Aubrey, and so it was just a lot of shit that ruined what Twin Peaks could have been because people let egos get in the way of stuff. And so like my thing is like I don't want to do that. I don't want to backstab anybody. I don't even really want credit. Like if we come up with something as a collective and it's we're all in the same room at the first strike on the whiteboard, then yeah, I do want credit. But if you've been working on a fucking project for I don't know how long and you're stuck and you give me the gist of what I need to know and where you want the story to go, but where you can't see it, then I will think about it, write down all the ideas that I have, give them to you, and you take what you want, you do what you want. If you need someone to hear you say those things out loud and me to elaborate, I can do that too. Anything to help you. That was it. And I'm still doing that. Even now, even like and look, I did burn bridges. I'm not saying that I was perfect. I did burn some bridges, but they were bridges that I never intended to like go back to. Like you got to understand when like and that's the other thing that people are afraid to do. Even now, it's just like there are no bridges anymore. That's the thing that I want people to understand about like creating stuff is like no matter how much shit you talk, no matter how many bridges you may have burned, none of that matters in this time period. It's like the only time period where digital has figured itself out to the point where now there are so many selections for video cameras, you can really have any choice, get it used, get it new, whatever the fuck. You have a decade of cameras, over a decade of cameras coming out, and you have access to a platform like this to where all you need to do is just get in front of a camera and talk. I mean, a fucking guy is rolling toilet paper and throwing it on a in a bathroom, in a public bathroom. He has 300,000 or 300 viewers right now that are just in his chat saying whatever, and he's not even looking. I said in this chat, don't do meth. Crack is whack. Crack pipe McGraw, that's what I called him. Like, you know, and he didn't phase him. So I say all that to say this. Okay? The only way things change is if the people who are trying to create stuff at any level has to have a mindset of just wanting things to change. Because if they don't, they're going to stab people in the back, and then people are going to get famous while other people suffer. And the cycle's just going to continue. And it's like, and when you realize that, you start to see things and understand things that don't really make any sense. Like, doesn't make sense at all. But you're just like, you kind of question what the hell it means. So I'll give you an example. So I'm watching The Sopranos right now, right? And when you read the production of The Sopranos, you understand that they are writing the seasons like after season 1 is done, they're writing season 2. You know, then they're writing season 3. Like it happens, you know. But every show has done that. There has not been a single show. There's never been a single show in the history of television that has said that they have an entire 5 seasons written out right now. There's none. Why is that? Why is every single show always getting written when the first season ends? Now you could again, you're in your mind, you're just like, okay, well, you got to see. The Sopranos had a staff of writers. Sure. They can have a wide turnaround time. Sure. But then you get to the writer's strike that affected the final season of the show. And that in and of itself has always really confused me. A writer's strike. What the fuck does that mean? Has anybody ever thought about what a writer's strike means? That means that no writers are writing on the show. That's it, right? So in the final, in the fourth, I think it's the fourth, leading into the fifth. I think the fifth season is the last one. So in the fourth season, they get done. And then they just don't write because there's a strike. Like, how do you enforce that? Are like, and it got me thinking, do they give you laptops? Are you supposed to, every computer or PC or whatever the fuck you get, do you have to put in this app or download this software that monitors what you write on what platforms? Like it's weird to think that like they just, okay, we're not writing then. Okay. Why not? Well, because we can't. That's goofy. That's such a weird thing, and we just accept it because, oh, that's how Hollywood works. But it's like, how does that work? And then it's just like, then when you start saying, oh, they put software in the PCs and stuff like that, then you get paranoid and you sound like a schizophrenic. Like, would Hollywood execs, like, how do they enforce this and that, da, da, da. And then I start to think, like, the reality probably is they have the entire series written. The entire series is outlined and written. They know where the story is going. They may not have full, complete scripts, but everything is already written and they're just sitting on it. And so when the writer's strike is over, they can get to editing it. And because of the time constraints of the schedules, they have to take stuff out, work around it, yada, yada. It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird system. And it seems to be breaking down now because of the AI thing. And like, I don't know what's going to happen to that. But all this just, it's just funny. It's just so funny, and like part of this is coming from a post that I saw on Facebook from someone I used to work with. Um, it's like their film, and I watched the trailer for their film, and it's like the same shit. It's the same quality that he was making over a decade ago. Like nothing has changed. Everything is the same. Like there's no diffusion of the light. It's like scenes are lit like this. There's no there's nothing. There's no emotion. It's all just overexposed. And I'm sitting there like nothing has changed. Your first film and your I don't even know how many films he's done. Let's say maybe a film a year, maybe 10 films. Give or take. He was good at like getting stuff done, but I just can't I don't get it. And then you see that he gets budgets for the films that he makes, but none of them really go anywhere or really have anything to say. They just seem like generic plots that he threw together on a weekend and then decided to go and make. And again, not just he's talented, so he can make whatever he wants. It's just you start to feel a type of way, like knowing that nothing has changed for him. You get reflective, and and I have my first film that I made. Uh, I think I still have it on my computer. That film was weird. That what was it? What? So I had what was it called? Fuck. I forgot what it was called. But my family had a camcorder, a handy cam, and they went away for the weekend. So I was there and I was like, I'm gonna film a short, like front to back. And it's bad. It's very bad. Like I wake up and I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happened, right? It's one of these things where I'm looking around for someone and then there's a dead body, a throat slashed in a bedroom. And then I go to check and then I look and now I'm covered in blood. My clothes that were not covered in blood are now covered in blood. So now I'm dragging him into the bathroom, gonna try to like cut him up into pieces. It's a very bad short film. But I watched it and I'm just sitting there thinking his film looks exactly like this still. And then I looked at what's in the neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, no, it's different. It's completely different. I'm a completely different type of filmmaker. Even though it's so simple, you can still see that there's a purpose behind what I'm doing. I'm not sad. There's no sad. I'm sad about not is him not achieving the kind of like success that he wanted to achieve. You know, we talked about he wanted to make crime movies. He wanted to make, and now he's making this schlock stuff with a prosumer camcorder, and it's like he doesn't have a cinema camera. He didn't make the jump from that to cinema. Like, say what you will about my my gear. Like, I started on a DSLR, and then I got a C100. Hold on. Sorry, it's just really windy outside. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good on a production company, dude. I'm good on. I'm just invest. I'm gonna produce content, and then let the content speak for whatever. You know, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be out there, but I'm not gonna really explain it except one film, just to give you guys a heads up on the kind of content that I'm making. But other than that, y'all are on your own, dude. Y'all are gonna have to have watched. Like, I'm putting faith. Like, we are the most recent product of the 100 years of cinema. So we've had 100 years of films brought to us in different formats to prep us to watch something and not have it explained to us constantly. That's the hope. So I'm not going to hold your hand. And if you decide to pick up your phone and check a text or any of that, then you could be missing something. Something could flash for a millisecond and you're just like, wait, was something just there? You don't know. So I'm going against this whole screenwriting bullshit. And I'm gonna just, do my own thing. But I appreciate it, Divinity. I'll look into that. I'll look into the production. Okay, RCS. All right. Hit me up on Instagram or X. They are both. Well, let me write them down. So, all right. See, all right. Oh shit. So it's Film Age Studios, all one word on X. and Film H Studios with underscores on Instagram. So, hold on, let me write X or Twitter. I should just, and then Instagram. So yeah, dude, if you want to talk about the production stuff, let me know. Always interested in knowing. That would be the third production company, which I'm pretty proud of, that I would be talking to about stuff. But anyway, nice handwriting. It's trash, dude. Oh, taking a screenshot? Okay. There you go, bud. Okay, 1, 2, 3, done. All right. Okay. But yeah, man, it's all, and one of the things is you got to understand that you're not going to be able to do this kind of thing on your own. But also understand that you invest in yourself, you be yourself, then hold on. Jesus. Sorry, y'all. There's dog keeps jumping the fence and I keep hearing it, but I don't know if it's the wind or if it's the dogs. Whatever. But yeah, no. Invest in your like if you do everything with your personality on Front Street, then like you don't need to do media training. You don't need to do any of the whole traditional shit. You just do the David Lynch thing and just go out and be unapologetically you, and that's what everyone should be. Unless it's something like, I mean, like, nothing against Kevin Smith, okay, but he needs to retire jean shorts. Okay, he should have retired them when he lost weight. But again, that's him. That'd be like me losing the bucket hats. So I get it now. I get it, but I'm never wearing jean shorts. I swear to God, if I hear, I don't know how those dogs are getting out. I really don't. But yeah, he made Clerks. Yes, I understand he made Clerks, but that was like 30 years ago, man. Like, yeah, he made Clerks, he made Chasing Amy, he made Dogma. Okay, yeah, he's made movies. But he himself has given up. His words, not mine. He just makes shit now that he wants to make, and that is somehow supposed to be an excuse to like waste everybody's time. And he has, man. He has, like, respect. I love Tusk. I love Red State. Those are films that felt like I wanted to see more films from him. And then he just went on a tear of films that I really couldn't give a fuck about. Didn't like Yoga Hosers. Didn't like that Cramp, that anthology film that he did. He also did another anthology film about that image. Hold on, let me see if I can draw it. It's like this dude. It's like, and then he has like a nose. I don't really know how to draw it, but he has like a long nose, and he's like perched up on a wall, and he made like a whole lore behind that. Tusk was all right. Tusk, I mean, yeah, I mean, hey, dude, I was part of Walrus. Yes, I was there listening to that podcast as soon as it dropped, like new. And I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. I want to see a guy get turned into a walrus suit and, or get turned into a walrus with human skin. Like, it all sounded great. Like, um, but I just wish he gave a shit. You know, I wish that he actually gave a fuck. And he's talking about doing a sequel to Dogma, to which I don't want him to do. I think Dogma is his best film and his most cinematic, his the film that felt like he had something to say, even more so than Chasing Amy. You see Chasing Amy now, that whole concept is just his fucking insecurities that quite frankly get really fucking annoying after a while. You know, cuz you know that fucking that whole Dante 37 dicks conversation probably came from one of his relationships, because I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Smith doesn't come off as a very secure person. He was very overweight for a majority of his life, coming from an overweight person. So he didn't really have high opinions of himself in that regard. Yeah, he's a nerd. I get he's a nerd. Okay, we're all nerds. Okay, but his writing is just very tiresome. It's like the fucking reveal in Chasing Amy that she got gang banged, and Ben Affleck is just, you know, yeah, it's the 90s, and yeah, you know, like, but it happened how many years ago? Like, why does it fucking matter now? You know? And then his whole plan, he's just like, okay, why don't you have sex with her, and then I'll have sex, you know, and then because you like me, and then this, like, and then that stupid, um when Brody, or was it Brody? I don't know who, the Jason Lee, when he gives his illustrations of the Easter bunny, the lesbian, oh, you know, one of them's real and two of them don't even fucking exist, and I'm like, oh, you just can hear Kevin Smith behind a keyboard just typing away. And so, yeah, man, when you see Dogma on the other hand, Dogma seems like he it comes from a place where he knows the source material. He knows it well enough to where he can like put his own spin on these biblical characters as how he interprets it. And his interpretation of that whole thing, the whole Buddy Christ thing, is so fucking genius. The introduction, like the solidification of movies, of the movie cow and the logo, and just that whole aesthetic is so ingenious. The whole office of CEOs with the golden movie idol at the head of the table as a literal reference to idolizing false gods. It, and the blood splatter on the golden movie door handles that make the cow face. I mean, oh, it's so goddamn gorgeous. And I didn't get the 4K. I need to get the 4K re-release. I need to see that fucking film in 4K. But everything was great in that film. Everything was great. And it's like, that's the Kevin Smith that I want. And I don't think it's going to come by doing a sequel to Dogma. I really don't. I think making a sequel to Dogma is going to do what it did, what all of his sequels to his other movies have done. It's going to water down the original and it's going to make him look like a one trick pony. I love Clerks too, but that whole porch monkey sequence is quite frankly annoying now in a way of just like because of how preachy Kevin Smith is. Kevin Smith is like this, "Oh, I'm a good guy now. I'm a this that, you know," and it's just like, "Well, you did write the N-word in a lot of your shit." And like almost the equivalent of like a Stephen King novel. Like that's how much it is. It's like it almost has to, and it almost seems like he like in Chasing Amy, he put a black man in there just so he can have a reason to say it. Just so he can be like, look, see, he's a malicious, powerful black man. They're in on the joke, type of thing, and it's just weird. It's just this weird infatuate, and it's good in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like that sequence is funny with Chris Rock, but I think Chris Rock makes that funny. Look at all these crackers. $75 million. I can't even get a black grip. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. Here's your coffee, sir. You spitting this? No? Any boogers in it? There's no boogers in it, sir. You went to film school, didn't you? It must piss you off to see a black man running a big old production like this. You went to film school. Does your daddy know that you give his coffee? It would kill him, wouldn't it? There's no spit in it, sir. Taste it. Taste the booger flavor. I know it's in there. It's all good, sir. No, it ain't all good. Now pick that shit up. Give me a white boy. Give me a blonde-haired white boy so I can enjoy that shit. Love it. Hey, man, it ain't that hard. I filmed the motherfucker, and I yell cut, and I go back to my trailer because I got more white girls than the first lifeboat on the Titanic, and they all want a part of my movie, and I got just the part for 'em. And then the stuff like that, I'm like, did Kevin Smith really not know about Harvey Weinstein? Did he really not know? Does he really not know? That's the other thing. I mean, like, you did in Red State make a production company called it the Harvey Boys. And in the commentary, you do say you do it in tribute to the Harvey for the Weinsteins. So it's a little suspicious, dude. It's a little suspicious, my guy. Chris Rock is not a good actor. Uh yeah, I mean, he does play himself in the same roles, sure. Like I'll tell you, him in Spiral is laughable. I don't understand how he got involved in the Saw franchise. I don't know how anybody looked at that cinematography in that movie and was just like, why does it look like a Lonely Island sketch? Like that's what the lighting looks like. It looks like Chris Rock is on an SNL skit. Did I hear the Affleck commentary? Oh fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, I heard the Affleck commentary on Armageddon. It's classic. Classic. What else? If anybody has a VPN because it's not available in this country, but if you type in Jacko commentary and you have a VPN, you're into like a different, it'll show up, but it's a commentary from this schlocky horror film from back in the day called Jacko. And it's with the producer and the director. And so they're watching the bad film, and it's a notoriously bad film, and they acknowledge that it's a notoriously bad film, but it has a cult following. And the director is very serious, and so the producers kind of pointing out the mistakes, and pointing out like the directors, like they had to make a wooden cross, and so the director's like, yeah, we actually had to wait a few days for the prop guys to make that the two sticks for that cross, and then it was silent, and then you just hear the producer just like, why couldn't you just go and find two sticks? Like, there were woods right there, you can just get the two sticks, tie them. Then silent. The director's like, yeah, well, we if we would have thought of that, we would have done it then. Da da da. And it just gets progressively bad to where it just boils over and the director leaves and the commentary is just the producer talking, and then he goats him to come back, and the director clearly has a chip on his shoulder and they have an argument. It's legendary. But Jacko, Jacko. I think there's a dash in the space or something. Rock killed them. The whole Saw movie was ass. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that Saw movie was I'm gonna just say that Saw in general shit. Like, I don't understand, except the first one. Like the pig mask killer, the pig mask jigsaw. That's cool. Okay, that is better. I love that design. I do not love the jigsaw puppet. I do not like the traps. I think some of the traps are like meant for morons, like the heroin addict with the needle that just puts her hands through obvious blades. Like, she's in a shitty situation where she's in this trial and she sees a needle and all logic goes out the window. I understand she's an addict, but I don't think that's how addicts' minds work in that case. I'm sorry, like, if there are traps and there is something that is too good to be true, I don't think the addict would be like, "Oh, let me put my hand in there and get the needle." That's what you get, boy. Oh, that fucking guy. Um, Chris Rock is the same, yeah, but yeah, I do feel that. I really do. Um, to be fair, I love a lot of ass horror films. I do too. Certain ones, like I'd say the Leprechaun series is pretty ass. It's a pretty ass series. I like Warwick David's commitment to that role. That's what does it for me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, aside from the first one and or first two, are kind of shit. Um, Actually, total shit, I would say. But again, like, I love it. I love those series. I'll watch any Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Even the Netflix one, I still watch. I still think that one is pretty fucking fun. They got great kills. I love that sunflower shot where it's just a sea of sunflowers, and then Leatherface just pokes his head out. It's beautiful cinematography. Leprechaun in the Hood is so bad, yeah. Yeah, Wrong Turn films are great. Joe Lynch actually follows me on X and I think Instagram. Joe Lynch directed Wrong Turn 3 or 2. I think it was 3, because I think it was one of the ones where it was like you didn't really expect it to be good because Henry Rollins is in it, but you weren't expecting it would that I think it was 3, because they did Wrong Turn 1, Wrong Turn 2, and then Wrong Turn 3 was like the best one. Did I watch all the Hostels? Yeah. Yeah, I watched all I like the first one. Um I don't really I'm not really into the second one. I think they shouldn't have killed the lead from the first one. Um, I think he should have. I think he should have devoted his life to like watching from like the shadows, like disappearing. Like I don't think he should have uh gone back home or anything. I think what he should have done was commit to taking down whatever organization that is, only to reveal by the end of the film. That's when you should kill him, is at the end. Is I think that he realizes he goes into like a network style shot of just all these monitors and realizing like there's like a giant Doctor Strangelove esque map within the belly of the where Hostel took place, and it's just a monitor. It's just one torture building in like a global torture building. So having the global reach of like having all these people on this list, getting notifications like, oh, we got new people coming in, saving that revelation for the end. Maybe kind of maybe almost doing like a I here's the here ooh hoo. This just popped into my head. What if they did what Evil Dead did? Hostel was Hostel, right? And then with Hostel 2, they do the Evil Dead thing. They remake it. It's pretty much shot the same way with a different group of people. And it's almost happening in a similar way. Maybe there's no surgeon, but it's somebody else on a train. And again, the same thing is happening, only for it to be interrupted by the protagonist from the first film coming in and stopping the shit and telling him like, look, you listen to me. They're trying to get you to go to the place and I need your help, blah blah blah. Maybe they take one of their friends and it's just the two of them, and he's just like, we're gonna go get your friends. We're gonna get your friends. Okay, we just gotta trust me. And then he's just the original Ring was the scariest film. Original Ring was good. Dude, please tell me you've watched The House of Jack built. Yes, I've watched the unrated version of that. I was fortunate enough to see that in theaters. Um, very, very depressing. I would say that is probably the closest to like a Solo that they've gotten. Generally speaking, when you bring in kids or like babies into like the horror. I spoke about this last night when talking about Hostel 2 and a Serbian film. Like they get to the point for me where it's just like, all right, you got me to the line. You go any further and it's not only going to turn me off, but I'm going to openly like not and dis openly dislike your film in public in any time it's brought up. And yeah, although I did like Human Centipede 2 for the most part, I do think the woman giving birth in the car, the baby getting wedged under the gas pedal and it caving the baby, it's all too much. Same with the Serbian film. Like when the mom gives birth and this dude, this fat guy in the leather apron is alluded to with the baby and the mom just looking and laughing, and you don't see any of it, obviously. You just hear the sounds and it's just the guy's reaction and he throws up, and it's I'm like, all right, this is just dumb. This is you lost me. The house that Jack built, the unrated version, involves two kid deaths that are pretty fucking brutal. It's one of the most intense and cinematically tragic things I have ever seen put to screen. It's so dark and it's so cold. Pretty much the house that Jack built is a Lars von Trier film. It documents Jack's progression as a serial killer through a specific span of time. And so you see each vignette is kind of like in each set of victims, and he has a freezer in which he is orchestrating these bodies into the shape of a house. And you see, that's the whole goal of it, right? So there's this one vignette where he's in a pickup truck, I think, or a van, something SUV. He gets out, and there's a mom with their two sons, and he's like, it's alluded to that he's taking them hunting, and he's just like, here guys, wear these cat, and he hands them red caps. And so hands the kids red caps, hands the mom a red cap, and you're like, oh god, Jesus. So in the regular edition, you don't see the kid. You see the kids, they get clipped, but then it just cuts, right? You don't see anything. In the unrated, you see everything. A kid is running away, his leg gets shot off, and then he gets killed, and the mom is like crying over the kid's body, and then the other kid is running, and then he peers around the corner and he looks at like where the shot, and he just gets it right through the head, and you just see everything just and then the mom's just there, and then he ends up killing the mom. It's fucked up, and seeing it, you're just like, oh god. And that got me to the line that Salo got me to. And I'm just like, okay, you go over this. I'm not going to respect this film anymore. You really fucking did something crazy and unexpected and real and brutal. And it made it feel so just tense and like hypertension to the max. And you're just through this ride, through this odyssey of complete and utter brutality, unflinching, and then it ends in like this way where you as the viewer are seeing all these kills, and they're all ramping up in different ways, but the last kill, he has these people lined up, so one's kneeling this way, and then they're kind of alternating, right? But their heads are all lined up perfectly. And he has a rifle, and he's about to load the bullet for, he wants a full metal jacket bullet, and he looks at the bullet and he realizes it's not that. He goes to the gun shop. He demands that he wants the bullet. He needs a full metal jacket. He needs it. He's freaking out. He's having a conniption fit, essentially. And it freaks out the gun shop owner to where he calls the cops. And the cops are coming. There's a door in the freezer that has never opened in the film, no matter how hard he tried. Finally opens, and he goes in it. In it, he meets a hooded man in a red hood, I think, and it's sort of like guiding him. And this is where it gets Lars von Trier experimental, because he's like in this cave, and it's like a digital camera with black bars on the side, but the cave is like the water and the ceiling are meeting, and so he has to crawl through, and he's going through all these different parts, and he's reflecting on his life, and it's all very just experimental shots to where you understand like he is going to hell. Like he just keeps going down these stairs, these corridors, and Jack's like, I want to leave. I want to get out. I need to get out of here. Like, and the guy's guiding him. And then he gets to this orange void. It's hard to explain. I've never seen the depiction of hell the way that Lars von Trier did it in this shot, like the hell pit. I've never seen it, and it's always been something that I've wanted to see in terms of like the visual of that. It makes me want to like follow Jack and see what he is seeing on his way now. So anyway, there's a bridge, and the guy's like, the exit's on that door. There's no bridge. And so he's just like, he says, you got to go quickly. You know, it's not going to stay open forever or something. So Jack's looking, he doesn't know. Like, he's just like, fuck it. So he starts scaling the wall on the side to get to the other side. And so he's moving, and he's looking down, and it's just these layers of just orange fire and lava, and just it's so scary looking, like how you'd imagine hell would look, or the entrance to hell would look. And so he's making his way across, and he slips, and you see his body just very real fall into this orange void. And then the screen goes into this negative to where everything goes black, and then it goes white, and the cliff and the magma and everything look black, and then it just goes to white, I think. And I forgot what song plays at the end. It's one of those films that just sticks with you. No, the film doesn't. I don't think the film ends on a jump scare. It's pretty straightforward. It's just him. He's walking on the side. He's losing his grip, and it's just him holding on for a little bit as his hand starts to slip, and everything gets quiet. And I think you hear the sound of suffering souls, or just and wind and just terror. And then he falls, and you just hear. I think you hear his robe flaps get quieter as he falls deeper in, and then that's when the negative look kicks in. Yeah, I mean, and also, like, I know Lars von Trier is a very controversial character, and like, he's a questionable guy. I'll just say that. Um so yeah, he's said some things that are outlandish that I'm pretty sure were jokes. Um I don't know the man personally. All I know is that he's worked with so many talented actors multiple times, and I love his films. I really, really love his films. They're very depressing, they're very real, and they're just very miserable. Like Nymphomaniac, the two Nymphomaniac films was fucked up. Was a fucked up journey. Not like like kind of like the house that Jack built, essentially. Not as like brutal, but it's still very fucked up. Weirdos make the best movie, so yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, my friend. You're not wrong. Cronenberg, Lynch, uh, the guy who did fucking Ichi the Killer, another crazy one. I love Ichi. Oh man, oh Ichi the Killer, bro. That is a forever a legendary film. Fucking can't believe I saw it at 14 years old, dude. That's fucking crazy. But anyway, guys, we're at 75, 675, dude. 675. That means I got 3 more subscribers. Fucking unreal, man. Unfucking real, guys. Thank you guys so much. In 80 minutes, I should start saying, please share, please subscribe and please share. At least like every 20 minutes maybe. Yeah, let's hope, dude. Let's hope. Like I think a lot of these subscribers are from like people that are actually telling other people like, "Yo, check this channel out." Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, neighborhood hater. Thank you. Um yeah, man, it's wild. It's just wild. I'm never not surprised, or I'm never not surprised. I'm always surprised that, like, again, like I got 3 people to subscribe. That's fucking crazy. So thank you guys again. We're about 80 minutes in. I'm going to wrap it up soon because again, it's late, and knowing that there's 6 people watching this at this hour, it's about to be 4 o'clock in the morning for me. Um and there's 6 other people that are possibly different parts of the world. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna probably upload this one. So, oh, it's 9 a.m. for you. Damn. Yeah, no wonder I get the occasional spike. Like it goes from 6 to like now it's 7. Oh my god. Cool, man. This is really fun. See, this is fascinating to me because while I say that the kind of content that I make, which is analog horror, entirely on my phone, these are production live streams to that showcase the different levels of production, but it's also a place where y'all can like sort of get to know the person who's making the content and just oh oh man, it's just it's 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 weird how my perception has shifted on how I make this shit. In terms of like, yeah, it's morning for other people. So who is going to be my audience if I keep on doing shows at this hour? Like cuz everybody most of this country most of this country is asleep right now. So it's just like, okay, so most of the people here are going to be asleep, but internationally, bro, people could be getting up, you could be having lunch, you know, and it's just, and while everybody else is sleeping, and essentially, metaphorically, I'm up and I'm trying to find an audience. I don't know. It's just interesting. Before I had this naive look on it because I did the business model of what Hideko Anno did for Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that is he went to the studio execs saying like, "Look, I want you to air at midnight, and people are going to be up because that's the kind of like because I'm up, and if I'm up, I know that other people are up, and there's nobody gonna be on. There's no competitors on at that hour. And so right now, my competitors, funny enough, I don't know if he's still doing a live, is a guy rolling up toilet paper and throwing it in a plastic bag taped to a stall door in some public bathroom. And forgive me, but I think that my content is better than that. And even though I'm just talking to y'all, ranting and trying to make sense of whatever's happening with this channel, how 675 people are like subscribed to this, and how 5 people are up right now, do like adding me into their life passively through like just going through their feed in whatever country they're. It's fucking weird, man. Oh. But yeah, guys. Yeah, it's well, thanks, dude. Yeah. P&W's channel. I don't know who P&W is, buddy, but welcome. But I'm high at the same time. That too, I ended like I'm a night owl, dude. Like I enjoy smoking at night and going outside and just sitting and just hearing the wind. That's usually how I get through writer's block or try to get through writer's block. Or I go for a walk. Like, oh yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. And that's all I ask is subscribe and share. Whoa, and if it's not sharing the link and just share, just be like, yo, this guy's making analog horror on his phone. He's doing lives to show the creative process, and some lives he's just shooting the shit about whatever's on his mind, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. But I don't know why I said it in that way. That was oh, that's actually what I do. Oh God, blow my brains out, man. Uh High with music or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. I like watching old King of Queen clips. Oh my god, dude. I forgot how awesome King of Queens is. Um it's so fucking funny. There's uh if you want a list of some clips, go to okay, type in King of Queens Doug Chinese food, and it's the one where he picks up Chinese, like British Chinese guy or something, and he goes to pick up an order. He's just like, uh, "What's your?" Or the guy at the counter's like, "What's your name?" And he's an Asian guy at a Chinese restaurant, and Doug and he says, "What's your name?" in a British accent, and Doug's just like, and then the guy's like, "Sir, is something wrong?" He's like, "No, I just wasn't expecting that voice, man. And then he's like, "Oh, well, I grew up in Hong Kong, but I can," and he says the ch word. "I can get up for you." Oh, Mila, and he goes into a stereotypical Asian accent, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa." And then he comes back with his, "Oh, American GI, oh, here's your order coming up." And I'm like, "Oh shit." There's that one. Um, there's Arthur's nasal spray where he's addicted to nasal spray. And so Jerry Stiller is his comedic timing in that show is unbelievable. He's going to pick up he gets hooked back on. He's like, "I got addicted to nasal spray," and he after he talks about it, he goes to the aisle and he picks it up and he just puts it down. And he's like, and then it cuts to him at the counter, And then he's just like, all right, I got this deodorant, couple of packs of juicy fruit, this Playboy, and these things. And he puts the nasal packages or the nasal sprays underneath the magazine. And it's like it's funny because it's a play on like people getting Playboys, like that would be the thing that he was be embarrassed about in any other film, but like it's the nasal spray, and they have to do a price check on it, and he's just like, it's fine, it's fine, just charge me whatever you want." And then they're like, call on price check on nasal spray, and he's like, "I'm buying it for a friend," and he turns around talking to the woman, and then he comes up from upstairs and checks outside, makes sure there's nobody there, and then he fucking draws the curtains, fucking takes out the nasal spray, takes 2 hits, and then turns on. What does he turn on? Because I looked up the song, because that's a great song to listen to when you're smoking a J. But he leans back and he's just like listening to this jazz. It's so stupid. But man, that show is so underrated. Oh shit. Christopher Nolan's Memento. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Here's my thing with Christopher Nolan. I love his films. I just feel like his opinion somehow is put on this pedestal. Because when he says some outlandish shit like uh Zack Snyder's one of the most influential filmmakers in the sci-fi and superhero genre, I'm just like, hold on. Damn dogs did jump the fence. Um, yeah, so I think his opinions get like somehow he says something and then everybody's just like, well, because he said it, that means it's true. And I'm like, well, no, he has an opinion, and he's a great filmmaker, but he can have a wrong opinion about stuff, i.e., Zack Snyder. He's so wrong about that. You know, and that's fine. You know, like I said, it's not his career he saw. He's talking about somebody else's career. He can say whatever he wants because he's made the films that he's wanted to make. And him saying whatever he wants has no bearing on that because none of his words are going to translate to the films that he's made. He can say all that shit that he wants about those films, but you look at any Christopher Nolan films, there's no Zack Snyder influence in any of them. So whatever influence he says that Zack Snyder may have, he clearly doesn't use in anything that he makes. So why are we taking his shit, his word on something like that? You know what I mean? Cause like fucking Scorsese talks about Kubrick, and then and the films that he enjoys with Kubrick, and then you see his films. You see Kubrick's influence in some of Scorsese's work, just some, like whether it be a wide shot, whatever. There's nothing in any Nolan film that is Zack Snyder. And that's all I say. And then nobody has any sort of like say into into that. Nobody has anything to say to me, any proof. I'm like, yeah, show me where you see Zack Snyder in a Christopher Nolan film. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess he's not that influential since the man who's saying the words doesn't even bother to put those influence in his own work. So maybe he's just fucking with you. Have you ever thought of that? Like that's a possibility. But no, yeah, I love his stuff, and I'm gonna go see the Odyssey. And it's the first IMAX. It's the first 100% shot IMAX film. We're gonna be seeing an IMAX movie that was shot on brand new IMAX cameras, like invented by Nolan and Jordan Peele, being utilized to film an entire feature length in that format. I am fortunate enough to have a screen that is a true IMAX screen. That is also hold on. All right. Well, guys, sorry. I keep getting on up and on because these dogs are fucking. Thank you. I don't know, man. I appreciate it. Jenna Tolles. I don't know who that is. I shouldn't say names out loud unless I say them in my head first. Hope it's not just a gimmick. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, dude. Nolan making that film is insane. Like, and I wish it was more fantastical. That's what I wish. I know there's going to be a Cyclops, and I know that, but the way he's talking about making Zeus more practical, you know, like making these gods appear as practical as opposed to not as mythical. I'm like, but you got Cyclops, you know, like, come on, how much? Point Break, Keanu Reeves, best movie. No, Doctor Strangelove is the best movie of all time. There's no discussion, argument, nothing. Doctor Strangelove. There will never be another satire like that. Just like there'll never be another satire like Network. You know, one battle after another felt like Strangelove, but it wasn't Strangelove. Eddington felt like Strangelove, but it wasn't Strangelove. It's they get so close, and I love both those films. Those are two films that are going to be in my greatest films of all time. But yeah, Fast and Furious did steal the entire plot. They did. They even stole a location where they get the shrimp tacos. That's the same spot in Point Break, verbatim. Man, talk about Fast and Furious. Where the fuck did that franchise go? It ended on a cliffhanger that went nowhere. We haven't gotten a follow up to it, and then they're saying like, Nobody else knows this shit. I think they do. They do know it. They I've seen a few YouTube videos, but by the time the new film comes out, yeah, I don't think anybody it's gonna resurge that entire. Ooh, you know what I think they're doing? This may be conspiratorial. I think they're trying to test the waters on resurrecting semi-dead franchises and seeing if they can get another pop in the resurgence of like the other ones, if they like, so I think they're using Fast and the Furious as their like guinea pig, because I'd say it's one of the few Hollywood blockbuster anomalies that doesn't really make sense. It was a successful first film, successful second film. They deviated from the formula to give us Tokyo Drift, that ended with Vin Diesel talking about, like, I'm here, Han was my teacher, Han was my friend, yeah, I'm here for, whatever. And it ends. And then it's just like, what the fuck? Like, okay, we don't get an answer to that. We do not get an answer. We do not catch up to the series until the seventh film. The seventh film is when we finally get that ending catching up to the. And then by then, what's his name? He's a fucking teenager in the first film. Now he's a fucking. After the race, after they do that post credit scene after that race, he's a fucking 50-year-old man. Like, whoa, what the fuck? How long did y'all fucking race? What the fuck? It's how remakes and recycled. Yeah, yeah, but I think what they're trying to do is, again, this has been remakes, but I think they're planning on vamping it up and getting past blockbusters a second turn at bat. And they're doing that with again Fast and Furious, because it has always been this experiment. Everything has been an experiment with this franchise. They get to 3 and they're like, let's take it back to the roots and call it Fast and Furious. And then they go to like Furious 6, Fast, or no, Fast. I don't know how. I don't know the subtitles. I used to remember. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. They well, not Mrs. Doubtfire, obviously, but like other franchises that were hits at one point. If this next Fast and the Furious film does well, you're gonna see Hollywood digging up past blockbusters and bringing them into the forefront in a bigger way than it's done currently. I think this is where we're gonna get stuff like I think this is where we're gonna get stuff like a Game of Thrones movie. Like they were talking about the concept of we're thinking about doing a spin-off or just doing a giant epic movie. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So this is, and you could be thinking like, well, there's there's already a Game of Thrones show out now in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, so it's already in the zeitgeist. I'm like, not really, man. Not really. Um Most people I've talked to about this game, like nobody was watching House of the Dragons. And so this new show, I don't know what the numbers are. All I know, it's been number one trending on the app since it dropped, and it's only been 24 hours, but still, it's just like Game of Thrones hasn't been tested on the film scale. And uh that's a hurdle that they need to and this is also going to be a test for Hollywood because you're really going to see how many people actually give a fuck about Game of Thrones. Because it's one thing to put something on an app or and boom, there you go. Where people are comfortable sitting. It's another thing to be like, "Hey guys, yeah, you know the thing that we put on your TV in the comfort of your own home where you can get your own snacks, your own food, your own amenities, smoke weed, you know? Like, yeah, we're going to take that, but you're no longer going to be able to do any of that stuff. Instead, you're going to come to an entirely different location, spend a premium, overpay on snacks, and we're gonna give you a big epic Game of Thrones movie. I'm like, okay, so these big epic shows that you still haven't been able to hone in. You didn't hone in season 8 of Game of Thrones. You didn't hone in House of the Dragons. You shunned out the creator for getting involved in the second season, and now you're bringing him back in a consultant sort of form for the last season or the second to last. I don't know how many seasons House of the Dragons is going, but it's just it the pro it's Game of Thrones is used to spreading out the budget and building the story that way. It's a lot to ask to make a 2 to 3 hour movie to tell a story like Game of Thrones, you know, like you know what I mean? Game of Thrones has had TV to like let the story breathe and take its time. You can't get that in a 2 to 3 hour movie. You're expecting the audience to have all this other stuff memorized, but Westeros is not Lord of the Rings. Okay, it's not The Hobbit. Okay, you can read The Hobbit, you can read the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and even that other book, the Samaritan, whatever that other book that he wrote that took place before that broke. You could retain more of the information from the Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings has been in the zeitgeist a lot longer than Game of Thrones, than the Song of Fire and Ice. So it's not much to ask for people to go see a Lord of the Rings property in the movie theaters because that's where we saw it. You know, that's how it was presented. We didn't get a show. So that's another going to be another test. That's going to hold the balance of whether or not this is a direction Hollywood's going to go. And we're going to see how good the writers are. We're going to see how good HBO how like if they're gonna put their money where their mouth is, give them a budget for 3 hours. Give them a an entire season budget for a 3 hour movie for essentially 3 episodes of a show. That's wild. That is a wild thing. And when you say it like that and you're break it down like that, it's not you don't know if it's going to be done. You should move away from the theater releases and just stream it. I don't know, man. I don't want the theaters to go away. I'm not one of those people. I love the movie theater experience. I love that that whole ritual of going to the cinema. Like the planning, the ritual of leading up, you know, when I go to the movies, I smoke a fucking joint or a fucking one hitter, take a gummy, and just, you know, if I want to get an icy, it all depends, you know? It all depends. I have to be in a certain mood. Like certain things have to happen for me to do certain things. So like popcorn and ices and shit. Like I have to be like if the movie's good, then I want to taste popcorn with it. An icy is a completely different thing. An icy I get when I want like, oh, okay, like Nope had the marketing for ices in the trailer. Like there are icy machines in the trailer. So and it was an alien film, UFO film. So I'm getting an icy. I'm gonna have popcorn. I'm seeing it on the IMAX screen, like the last row of the front seat, and it's just full. Oh god, that was one of the greatest films I've ever seen in the theater. Oh, I hope they do a re-release because I want to see it again in IMAX. So good. So good. But yeah, man, I like the ritual of going to the cinema and just being in that space. You know, it's so nostalgic for me. And especially like me, like I feel like spoiled completely on like cuz like I if I, like I am near every theater that I want to be near. And it's just like and if a theater's too far away, then it's like yeah, it's nothing that a short like 20-minute drive maybe 20-minute drive to another theater that if that maybe 15 minutes, you know, and that's important because it's important to have variety, man. I can go to a D box, I can go to a um an IMAX 3D, Real D 3D. Um, I think there's Adobe Theater too. Like I have so many formats that I can choose to go to, and knowing that it's just so fun, man. And I'm not even counting like the novelty ones like Alamo Draft House. Like that's oh, like those are fun too. And so yeah, man. No, I want to see them. I want to see HBO throw down the budget for a Game of Thrones movie, and I want to see them put their money where their mouth is. Because if they are investing in this entire series or in this entire brand of Game of Thrones, then they need to be tested. And the perfect test is a film. The perfect test is a movie. So you need to give us that. And I honestly, I kind of want it. I don't know, because if that fantasy film does well, Game of Thrones does well, then we might have a resurgence in other fantasy films. Like honest, like the biggest misstep was Paramount not making another Dungeons and Dragons film after Honor Among Thieves. Like that movie got fucked over so bad. And it was such a beautifully done Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's a beautiful fantasy film. Like up there with Lord of the Rings. And it oh, I mean maybe dude. I don't know. I have no idea. You know what I think there may be some shady shit going down with that deal. I don't know. Call me crazy, but HBO's been around for 100 years, and the last thing I think that they want to happen is for the foundation of the old Hollywood to get uprooted by Netflix. So, like what we are seeing in the public I can only imagine like there are conversations being had behind closed doors that may be pretty fucking disturbing, you know? Because again, you got to think about it, man. Hollywood as an entity is a savage fucking thing, dude. It's a savage creation that while it adapts, doesn't really enjoy competition in terms of like something like Netflix, you know? Like it's bad enough that we're getting like shit is happening overseas in other countries that is now showing that you don't have to make big budget in Hollywood anymore. Now India has is starting to get traction there. And you know, and to me included, there are some visuals that still look rough. Um they still aren't quite as but they're getting closer to America visuals every fucking year. Crunchyroll next. Yeah, no. I don't know if they'll get Crunchyroll. That's the thing. I think that and God bless Japan. I think Japan's going to hold on to Crunchyroll. I think they're going to just keep that over there, and as they should. As they should. Like Studio Ghibli, I hope it's independent. I hope Studio Ghibli's independent. They should be. I think they're their own Oh no, Disney owns them. Never mind. I fucking forgot. Damn, dude, it's about to be 2 hours I've been doing this. There's 5 people still watching it. Guys, it's about to be 4:30. Holy shit. Anyway, guys, I'm about to end it really because I gotta go. I gotta charge my phone. It's really, really early in the morning. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for subscribing. Before I leave, this is an analog horror series where I make the analog horror entirely on my phone. Um, and these live streams are production live streams, breaking down the creative process of making an entire series on my phone using a $30 app. Yeah, man. Mork the Orc 69, please subscribe. Dude, you gotta subscribe. There were 6 people watching and there were 9 thumbs up. But anyway, if the 7 of you like analog horror and want to support an independent filmmaker who's making it entirely on his phone, please subscribe and share. You don't have to share the link, but tell your friends, man. You know, tell them that there's this dude who's doing daily live streams talking about the creative process and just shooting the shit with y'all. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. Please subscribe, please share, and I will talk to y'all later.